It is one of the most painful paradoxes of the human experience. You are known by your colleagues as the one who never loses their temper. Your friends see you as the person who is always ready with a supportive word or a kind gesture. To the stranger at the grocery store or the barista at the cafe, you are the epitome of politeness and patience. You carry a reputation for being a good person, a reliable soul, a saint in the eyes of the public. But then the sun sets. You walk through your front door, the key turns in the lock, and as the outside world is shut out, a transformation occurs. The smile that you wore all day like a shield suddenly drops. The patience that seemed infinite just an hour ago evaporates into thin air. In the safety of your own home, surrounded by the people who love you most, you become someone else. You become irritable, sharp-tongued, and cold. You snap at your partner for a minor mistake. You ignore your parents' attempts to connect. You let out a sigh of resentment at the simplest request. You are living a double life. You are a saint in public, but a monster at home. And the worst part is the crushing weight of the guilt that follows every outburst. The silent question that haunts you in the dark. Why am I so cruel to the only people who truly care about me? To understand this darkness, we must first look at the social mask we are forced to wear. From the moment we step out of our homes, we are performing. Society demands a certain level of emotional labor from us. We are expected to be agreeable, professional, and composed. We suppress our frustrations when a colleague interrupts us. We swallow our anger when a stranger is rude. We force a laugh at a joke that isn't funny. This is what psychologists call impulse control, and it operates like a battery. Every time you choose to be polite instead of honest, every time you bite your tongue to avoid a conflict, you are draining that battery. By the time you reach your front door at 6 p.m., your virtue battery is at 0%. You have nothing left to give. You have spent all your kindness on people who don't even know your middle name, leaving only the dregs of your exhaustion for the people who share your blood and your heart. This is not because you hate your family. It is because you have used up your capacity for grace on the rest of the world. There is a sinister logic at play here, something we call the paradox of safety. Why don't you snap at your boss? Because there are consequences. They could fire you. Why don't you yell at the stranger on the street? Because they might hurt you or judge you. But your family? They are safe. Deep down, in a corner of your mind that you'd rather not admit exists, you know that they love you unconditionally. You believe, perhaps subconsciously, that no matter how toxic you become, no matter how many times you trample on their feelings, they will still be there in the morning. You treat them the worst because they are the only ones who won't leave you. You have turned their love into a license for your cruelty. You use their devotion as a safety net, allowing yourself to fall into the basest versions of your character because you know they will catch you. It is a profound betrayal of the very foundation of love. Yet it is a trap that millions of good people fall into every single day. We must also confront the mechanism of emotional displacement. Life is often a series of small, unaddressed traumas. The condescending comment from a supervisor, the pressure of a looming deadline, the feeling of being undervalued and unseen in the world. These emotions don't just disappear because we choose to ignore them. They sit in the body. They simmer in the subconscious like a pressurized steam engine. When you are out in the world, the lid is kept tightly shut by the fear of social judgment. But home is the pressure valve. Your partner asks a simple question like, "How was your day?" And suddenly, the steam explodes. They aren't the cause of your anger, but they are the only available target. You aren't yelling at them because of the unwashed dishes. You are yelling at them because you felt powerless 8 hours ago in a boardroom. You are using your loved ones as a psychological trash can, dumping the emotional waste of your entire day into their laps because you are too tired to process it yourself. You are making them pay the debt for a world that was unkind to you. This double life creates a devastating cycle of moral exhaustion. When you are perceived as a perfect person by society, the pressure to maintain that image becomes a burden. You feel like an imposter. You feel that if people really knew what went on behind closed doors, they would recoil in horror. This leads to a defensive psychological state. You become irritable at home because home is the only place where you don't have to be perfect. But in doing so, you create a home environment that feels like a war zone. You begin to resent your family for witnessing your weakness, for seeing the version of you that isn't filtered or polished. You snap at them because they remind you of your own humanity, of your own failures. You are angry at them for knowing the truth about you. Consider the echo of the golden child. Many who live this double life were raised in environments where their value was tied to their performance. They learned early on that to be loved, they had to be good. They had to have the best grades, the most polite manners, the most successful career. They grew up terrified of making a mistake in public. But that repressed rebellion, that hidden desire to be messy and loud and even bad, has to go somewhere. It comes out in the dark. It comes out against the people who are supposed to love them for who they are, not what they do. By being toxic at home, they are, in a distorted, tragic way, testing the limits of love. They are asking, do you love the saint, or do you love me? Even if I am a monster, will you still stay? It is a desperate cry for authentic connection disguised as a fit of rage. But we must ask ourselves, what is the cost of this saint-monster existence? The cost is the slow, steady erosion of the only relationships that actually matter. While you are busy being nice to people who will forget your name in a week, you are building a wall of resentment between yourself and the people who would walk through fire for you. You are teaching your children that love is a performance and that home is a place of tension. You are teaching your partner that they are less important than the opinions of strangers. You are sacrificing your legacy for your reputation. You are winning the world and losing your soul, one sarcastic comment at a time. There is a specific kind of grief that comes with this realization. It is the grief of looking at the person you love most and seeing the flicker of fear in their eyes when you walk into the room. It is the realization that your presence, which should be a source of warmth, has become a source of anxiety. You have become a storm that they have to navigate. This is the mirror of regret. We often don't realize the damage we are doing until the silence in the house becomes too loud to ignore. Until the people we snapped at stop trying to talk to us. Until the safety we relied on finally breaks and we find ourselves truly alone in a world that only knows our mask, not our heart. To heal this, we must perform a radical recalibration of values. We have to stop giving our best to the world and our leftovers to our family. We have to learn to be average or even difficult out there so we can be kind in here. We have to learn the art of the emotional transition. Before you walk through that door, sit in your car for 10 minutes. Breathe. Acknowledge the anger of the day. Process the disrespect you felt. Tell yourself, the person behind this door is not my enemy. They are my sanctuary. They do not deserve the poison I am carrying. We must learn to apologize, not just a quick sorry, but a deep psychological confession. We must tell them, "I am taking my frustration out on you because I am tired, and that is not your fault. I am sorry for making you pay for a world that doesn't know me like you do." The double life is a prison. It is exhausting to be two people at once. True peace, true psychological health, only comes when the person you are in public and the person you are in private begin to merge. It comes when you decide that the opinion of the stranger at the office is worth infinitely less than the peace of the person sitting across from you at the dinner table. It comes when you realize that your home is not a trash can for your trauma, but a garden that needs to be tended with the same, no, with more care than you give to your social standing. This is Thoughts We Hide. To the ones who feel the sting of guilt every time they look at their family. To the ones who are tired of wearing the mask of the saint while carrying the heart of a storm. It is time to come home. Not just physically, but emotionally. It is time to give your best smiles to the ones who have seen your worst tears. It is time to stop being a hero to the world and start being a human to your family. The world can wait for your kindness. The people in your house have waited long enough. Take off the mask. Lay down the rage. You are safe now. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be here. And you have to be kind. Be free. Be home. Be you.